to We Are the Aunties Now, where we celebrate our wonderful auntie lives and share just a little snippet of it with you each episode. I'm Auntie Adrienne, and why don't you ladies introduce yourselves?
Hi, everyone. I'm Auntie Viv. Welcome back to our show.
Hey, y'all. Hey, I'm Auntie Kels.
What up, folks? It's Auntie Rose.
I missed you, ladies. Well, since
Yeah.
we last met up, we have celebrated summer solstice this past week. And so, of course, with the summer, we have cookouts, the DC area, major daytime parties and brunches, and most importantly, the vacations. So I think I have recently seen both you, Kelly, and you, Rose, on vacay. So do you guys have any summer plans, or do you want to share with us what you've done thus far?
Well, first, let me say that this has been an interesting summer for me because I have a few friends that are educators, and I was always hating on them in the summertime, right? Because educators are off during the summer. during the summer. And so as we got closer to the summer, and I had a friend, and she'd be complaining, "Oh my gosh, I'm ready to be done with these kids. I'm done with." I'd be like, "Listen, honey, I do not feel sorry for you. You're about to be off for some months, and I don't feel one bit sorry for you." And so now I was like, "Hey, girl, we can hang out. I can hang out at the pool with you this summer. I'm not hating no more."
Right. Now I'm hating on both of y'all.
Right, exactly. That's working, folks.
Yeah. So
But
go
listen,
ahead, tell us about your wonderful living your summer like your life is golden and all of that. Tell us all about it.
So let me tell y'all, I recently had a trip where I went to Orlando to visit my cousin and my aunts. And it was a good time. You know, I wasn't sure if I wanted to go to Florida. You know, they acting up down there politically. And I just was like, I'm not trying to go down there. I'm not trying to spend no money in Florida. But I went down there to see my aunt. I hadn't seen her in a while. So it's two aunts, and I hadn't seen one of them for like a year and the other one since 2019, so pre-pandemic. And so it was good to be down there and to see them. And they have a pool. But let me tell you how the weather up here was hot. It was like 90s and it was hot. And I was down there, and while the sun was shining, it was breezy and it was a little chilly. I couldn't get in the pool. I couldn't even enjoy the pool. I couldn't enjoy skinny dipping. I wanted to I said I was going to skinny dip, and I told my cousin that too. She was like,
real fast. I'm like, wait a minute.
Okay.
Those neighbors,
That's what
was going to be peeping in.
Not mad at it.
So I could not enjoy that, but that's fine. That's fine. And then shortly after that, me and my boo, we celebrated our 20th anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Happy anniversary.
So for that, we went away and we actually went on our first couples trip, which we were both very nervous about. We were so nervous. So it was us and one other couple. And you know, he knows both people, and I know both of them too. I have relationships with both people from the other couple, and you know, he's familiar with both of them, but he doesn't know them like I know them. And so, you know, I saw this video on Instagram where like the wife was talking the husband through like going to this social event, and I kind of laughed, and I was like, yeah, that'd be me. I was like, okay, baby, now we're gonna go, and you're gonna say good morning, and then you smile, okay?
Oh, God.
But no, it was awesome. We had such an amazing time. We had great company. The food was good. It was an all adults resort. So let me tell y'all how that made such
So you were skinny
a difference.
dipping there.
I wanted to, but I didn't. I
Okay.
wanted to, but I didn't, because the people were so friendly. Like the other people on the resort, like they were so friendly that I kind of felt like, I was like, is this like a marketing ploy? Because they want you to become a member, right? You know, the whole timeshare thing, and they want you to be a member.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this the new marketing where they have now people that just hang out at the hotel and they strike up a conversation with you and tell you how they've been coming here for years and how they love the food and we come with a friend group. And I'm like, something is odd because almost everybody I've spoken to has said similar things and like they're like seeking me out to speak to me. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to be naked in front of these people.
We were too friendly for you to be naked in front of.
No, but it was good. I had a great time. And right now, I don't have anything else planned, like as far as leaving the country or going anywhere. But I do plan on having more beach trips. We're in Maryland. So we have our Maryland beaches, we have Delaware beaches, and one of my favorite beaches is Assateague. So I have to make
I
it out
know.
there with the wild
You
ponies.
guys camp? You guys camp out there?
No.
Oh,
I'm not a
okay.
camper. I'm a glamper. Even though I've never
Uh,
done that either, but I'm not camping. Nope.
I've only been to Assateague once, and I did the whole camping situation, and I did it by myself. And
Oh
so I'm a fan
wow.
of Assateague, but I've never really like just stayed out there.
Wait, what do you mean by yourself?
Like I traveled out to Assateague, and I camped by myself overnight. I was
You
on
put
my
a tent
independent
on the
woman.
beach?
I sure did.
Oh,
And
You by
then
wow.
yourself.
by myself, and then one of those little wild ponies strolled up in the middle of the night,
That's what
almost
I'm
had a heart
saying.
attack. I remember getting on Facebook of all things. That's another thing how we go to social media before anything else for assistance. I should have I should have called a park ranger or something, but I'm gonna go to Facebook. I'm gonna go to Facebook and ask what to do about this wild animal that's outside of my tent in the middle of the night.
Oh
And
man.
that's what I went. Yeah, I went by myself. It was
Oh
a good
girl.
experience though, but yeah, I didn't even know. I thought they had like houses or something that you could stay in out there, but Assateague's nice. It's hard to get
Mm-hmm.
a space out on the beach this late though, because I definitely looked.
I
Mm-hmm.
mean, we just roll up. Like,
Probably because you're not directly on the beach. The
no,
campsites
we
are taken
Oh, we
oh,
early.
you
on the
mean to
beach.
camp. I got you. I
Yeah,
got you. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Those things get taken up pretty quickly. There's a lot of other adventurous people that think the wild ponies are friend shaped and they take up those spots pretty quickly. So yes, you're right. So those are my summer plans. I'm going to still do my regular stuff. There is solstice at the museum this coming weekend, so I'm going to be
What
doing
at the
that.
museum?
Solstice. So they're going to be open until midnight at the Smithsonian. So I'll
Oh,
definitely
that's
be
nice.
there. Yeah.
So you get to
Yeah.
just tour at
hmm
nighttime? Is it all of the Smithsonian museums?
I want to say it's most of them, and they have programming too. So it's not just tours. Some of
Mm.
them are going to have like a DJ and performances and food and things like that. So yeah, y'all should check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Listen, if you ever need to know anything happening in the DMV area, she's the
Hmm.
person to
She is the
follow right
person.
there because the events, her stories, I'm sure we'll put our Instagrams or something at the end of this. Follow Auntie Rose because she's always got her ear to the ground. But yeah, that sounds cool. When we become famous, we should have like outings with the aunties and
Oh
and,
yeah, I
and
Yeah,
love
have like
that.
that
event
would be
our own
cute.
little events. Yeah.
I love that.
Meet us
Yeah.
here. Meet us. We'll be at this location this weekend. Meet us. Come say hi to us. Don't be
Hmm.
afraid. We're
Yeah.
friendly.
You've had some beach time lately too, haven't you, Kelly?
I have had some beach time, and I basically am just gonna repeat everything that Rose said because because she did not say this, but the other couple that she was with was me and my significant other,
I
and
pieced it together.
we were at the same resort. We had our first couples trip together. I mean, I feel very privileged to say that I was the first couple that they traveled with because they have
Yes.
20 plus years in the game, and that is like just amazing. My significant other and I have 7 years in the game, and we've done trips together before, but it was just us, right? And so
Mhm.
I think some of the same um anxieties that Rose had about just how would we mesh, and like is it weird when you travel with people, you just don't know, like are they the
Yes.
type of people where it's like you have to do everything together, or do you have
Right.
you have time on your own, like all of that. I feel like it was just so easy. Like we all got along really well. Like it just was a very chill, very relaxed trip. And it was all about restoration and rest, which is, we've talked about this on a previous episode. That is something that I'm trying to prioritize for myself this year. And so it was really nice to do that. So I'm a big fan of resorts and all inclusives in particular, but this one, like sometimes all inclusives can be a little janky. Like the food can
Yeah.
be nasty, and like, the people are like, well, you already paid, so we're gonna treat you like poop while you're here, right? So
Mm-hmm.
like everybody was so nice on the resort, including the people who work there. Food was great, and I'm a huge foodie, so like food was very important to me. I am also the person who reads like every review of something before I book
Oh,
it.
gosh.
So I
Same.
read like every review about this resort, and it lived up to the expectations, which I was really worried that it would not, but it did. So that was great. We often talk about like how we were pre-pandemic, and pre-pandemic I was very much a traveler, and I would take like multiple trips a year, and all of that. This is the first trip that I've taken in 2023. So that
Mm-hmm.
was, much needed and long overdue. I am very much a beach bum, and like being near the water just really
Mhm.
like calms me and grounds me and all of that. And so it was everything I needed it to be. But now I'm experiencing post vacation depression where I'm like, I need another vacation on the
It's a
books so
real
I have something
thing.
to look forward to. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to think about what that will be, right? I am not a huge fan of the beaches that are like close by. Like I am not excited about Assateague at all. I do not like Ocean City. I am not a fan of like Rehoboth and all that. I will go, but I'm not crazy about those things. I do kind of sort of like Virginia Beach, and my mom is a fan of Virginia Beach, so I think I might go with my mom to Virginia Beach. At
Yay.
some point. Yeah, yes. At some point this summer we will probably do that. And so I don't really have like anything else on the books right now. And that feels very unusual to me because normally I would have like other stuff coming up that I would, be looking forward to. So I think for the rest of the summer though, one of the things that I am thinking about is just trying to get back on track with like my health and nutrition and fitness and all of that, all of those goals, because a few weeks out from my
Wow.
vacation, I was just like, well, the beach is going to get whatever it's going to get, and
So
I'm
get
about to
what it's
stop.
gonna
I'm going to
get.
calm down a little bit on all of this stuff. And I got real lax on it. And then when I was on my trip, like I made a point to move my body every day, but it was not a workout, right? Which is like something that I'm normally very diligent
Mm-hmm.
about. So since I've been back, I've been on it. And I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try really focused on discipline and consistency through the end of the summer. So stay tuned on that, whether or not that pans out. But I think that's probably the thing that I have most on my mind for the summer. Um, and then hopefully I'll be able to come back and tell y'all about some other trip that I have planned. So let's revisit this later.
Yeah, well, I'm along the same lines of the beach. You said a couple of things that I was like, oh man, you and I's plans are very similar. So, first of all, I'm a little envious. I did not go on a couple's vacation. Um, but it was so far, and this is pre-summer, but so my boyfriend of we're gonna say 4 years. 4 years, he did take me to Barbados for my birthday. So that was good, and that was my first time being there, and we had an absolute blast. Did the whole tourist thing, lots and lots and lots and lots of rum and more
Mm,
rum. Got to go see
Mhm.
Rihanna's home and all that fun, exciting
very
stuff.
nice.
And so since we've been back, like we don't really have any other vacations planned.
Mhm.
I would like to take some small things. I would love to go to the West Coast, but we got to see. So most of my summer, lots of music because everybody's
Mhm.
touring now, and I think
Mhm.
this is
Yes.
the
Oh, I
first
didn't even
official
say that.
year
Yes, I have some
post
too.
pan. Yeah, yeah, first official year post pandemic. I think that now all of the artists have shaken the dust off them a little bit and they are out there. So this
Yes.
summer
Yeah.
is prime. We already know the Beehive. Okay. Beyonce is the biggest headliner
Yes.
right now. I'm
Yep.
sure
Yeah.
there may be a couple of Swifties who are watching. Okay, hey, but so we've got Beyonce. We're going to the DC show. We were not super fancy. I've already seen a couple of my friends do the Paris thing. We've seen the Amsterdam, and where's she at? Germany right now. So she's about to come back. She's coming back to. She come back to the US already? I don't know. But
Not
we're going to go to
sure.
the DC show. I think we're going. Rose, aren't you going to the DC show?
I'm at the DC show. Yep.
Okay, so
Me
so
too.
I'm gonna say that me and okay, so
Oh,
we
you
can have a
too.
couples concert. Since I couldn't go to a couples vacation, we're gonna go to. I'm gonna claim it. We're gonna have a couples concert day. So that's coming up. And there's a couple of other shows and festivals that I want to hit up this summer. But most of the time, I need to take it easy. I am just like you, Rose, where I have previously been hyper focused on health and fitness. And there's something about celebrating life and having fun that makes all of that kind of go. So first I had my birthday as an excuse in May. And then I have no excuse for June. Yeah. I just got comfortable, so I'm gonna try to ramp back up. I've kept with the fitness thing, so more mine is eating, which is also a huge part of the summer, right? Cookouts,
Yes,
lots
exactly.
and lots of food. Everybody wants to drink.
Yeah.
Like I said, in the DMV area, that the brunch and the day parties get kicked up a notch. Every weekend, people are like, let's go outside. I wanted to say, it's supposed to, I don't know when this is going to actually air, but it was supposed to rain this weekend. And I was like, perfect. I can stay in, be disciplined. And my man still's like, let's go outside.
Let's go out.
We're going to go
Outside
out.
is open.
You can go outside and be under a roof and we can still party and have drinks. So I'm going to have to, we're going to have to try to find some balance with that. So most of my summer, I hope, is just full of music. I hope it's full of dancing. I haven't danced in forever. And that part of my fitness thing I started back dancing this past week and I realized how much I miss that. So I need to be in somebody's dark lounge or something. Hopefully I'm not too old for that anymore. Auntiedom. But I want to be dancing this summer. I just want to be joyful this summer. I want to be outside in a very balanced way. So lots of music on the horizon, and I wouldn't mind another beach. I don't know which beach to go to though, because I also am not really a local beach girl. I don't really have an excuse. I can't even say that I don't like them. I just haven't. I've lived in this area since college and just literally have not gone to the local beaches other than Assateague. So I may go just to check it out because I trust your opinion, Kelly, but there must be some reason Rose is going there. Unless she just has.
It's beautiful.
I'm gonna see. I'm gonna check it out. Now I feel like I've been spoiled. I'm like,
it's beautiful.
If it's not blue water, I don't want it.
That's what a lot of people say.
And that's
it's
not
blue
it's
water.
Not. And it's not.
I don't want it. Exactly. I think that's almost a rite of passage. I feel like now I am officially an auntie because I'm classy and I've seen
Yeah.
water, so I cannot. Sorry, you guys.
No,
I cannot return to gray, mucky water any longer.
Listen.
You got beaches on the horizon for you, Viv, or what do you got going on?
You know, I think we all kind of circle in a loop that each of us has done something that each other have done. Most recently, I took a trip to Mexico in April. And that was, I haven't been, of course, you know, I have been out the country, but I haven't been to Mexico in a while. And for me, I actually like traveling with myself and my daughter. Similar for the same reasons that like couples trip. Girls trips can be too much. And
too much?
You know, if you don't even have the same type of girls in the group, then you always have your extremes of the people that are going to continue and then need a vacation after a vacation.
Yes.
And I can't do that anymore. I could if I didn't have a child, but I have to get back home to real life and I will just never catch up with sleep. So that's off the list for me. And so it just really depends. I can schedule one girl trip a year, and after that, like the rest is for me alone or me with my kid and or sometimes family. But so I enjoy Mexico, and I agree. Like for me, I look for something that's going to be easy. I do love all inclusives, but y'all, I really miss being on cruise ships.
Oh.
Cruise ships for me is
Mhm.
because you literally walk on and I have to do nothing else. If
Yeah,
I don't
just
ever
show
want to
up.
leave my room,
Yeah.
I don't. If I
Mhm.
want to be out all night, I drop my daughter off to the little kids club.
Mhm.
They watch her and I do my own thing. So it's just, and I love bingo. I mean, here comes the auntie. I like playing bingo, y'all.
That
So
is
I
some
go to the
auntie
bingo
stuff.
every day. That's some
That
auntie
is.
stuff. I'm telling y'all. And we have our little markers, and I'm just like, listen,
Oh
what's
my
the number? What's the numbers? I go crazy. I'm a
What's the
whole
most you
different
won at
person
bingo?
in bingo. Actually, so when I went on a cruise, this was a long time ago. My boyfriend at the time, I went and I lost some money the first round, and I went back the next day, and I was up some money, and our tab at this time probably was like I think $300 just on drinks alone. And so I played bingo and I won enough to cover the tab and we had more
Oh,
to drink. And it was
Okay.
like,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
so it was
great.
worth
Break
it.
even.
It was
Break
worth
Yes.
even.
it.
300 at bingo.
Exactly.
I need to start playing bingo.
I
Right.
know. So so I do miss cruise ships. I think that's something that I'm
Mhm.
gonna look into. I doubt it'll happen this summer, but I
Mhm.
love being on a cruise. I myself also recently traveled down to Orlando. I usually go once a year. Again, just really kid friendly vacationing. But this time was really different. I was with my family a lot, but we still explored in a way that just was really freeing. I ended up going to Cocoa Beach. And when I tell you, it's about an hour away from my cousin's home. But that beach trip, I usually go get ice. Like we're packing the car when we're going for a beach day. This was just okay, it's 12 o'clock. We're about to get on the road and we're going to go to the beach. We had a umbrella, a blanket, and one beach chair and our towels. And when I tell you that I got there and I stayed in the water for the entire 4 hours, it was calm. So my sister went the week before me, and
Mm-hmm.
for her, the weather was not the best. For me, I was in 85, 90-degree weather, right?
Oh,
But at
yes.
night, it went down to the 70s, like high 60s and 70s. So the water was just gorgeous. It was calm. I felt like it was in a pool. And I got very burnt, but came back,
No
and all I needed to put
sunscreen?
on was some bronzer, and I don't need any makeup, so I'm thankful for that trip. Um, as far as for the rest of the summer, I am a family girl, so we usually just every weekend there's someone's house to drop into, and our
Yep.
family is so large. There are cookouts, there's graduations, there's birthday parties, like you name it. I have something to do almost every weekend. Um, and also, I am a beach girl too. And while I agree that once you've seen like turquoise waters, there's nothing else like it.
Mhm.
But I'm not spoiling myself in that matter anymore because for me, water is just so
Yeah.
renewing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I recently went to Ocean City. I think I went last year. And when I tell you, I haven't been to Ocean City in Maryland for at least 5 years. The water was so different. It wasn't blue, but it was a murky and it was clear. Like I could see my feet. And I'm just like, what did they do to the water? I like it. Because like Kelly said, I'm a Virginia Beach girl. Like I love
Mhm.
Virginia Beach. It's a different vibe. You can find parties to go to, but I like the quiet and actual rest and relaxation that you get there.
Mhm.
But Ocean City, I don't know, something changed and it was
Mm.
just really nice and it was relaxing. The water wasn't I wasn't like annoyed that I had to do this for my daughter. I enjoyed it myself. So
Yeah.
we went 2 years ago, right, Rose?
Yeah. Well, I went last year, but you didn't come to that one. And then the year before, yes, we went.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we went together. So it just was really nice. So on my list, I think I want to get to Atlantic City. And enjoy some of their waters. And I do have a group of friends that we're like just internet friends, right? And I've had a couple invitations to come up to New York just I had a conversation with one of my friends, and she's like, I told her, I was like, I used to be fascinated by New York, when I was younger. I always thought like I was the Sex in the City like fanatic. I have their album, I have all of the DVDs, and it's like this beautiful fuchsia suede book that all of the videos are
I have
in.
that too.
And so, do you?
I'm a hardcore fan.
Yeah,
I
I have
was
it
a
too.
hardcore fan. So, my vision back then of New York was this like dream rich state. And, the more I visited over the years, I'm like, I hate this place and this is just not for me. So I expressed that to her and she said, you need to come and visit me. I will tour you in New York. And you're just gonna love it. You're gonna enjoy it from my view. So I think I'm gonna take her up on that offer and go visit, even if it's for the weekend or a Saturday. And then the rest of the weekend the rest of the summer is just like whatever I find popping up. I follow Spotlight, who gives lots of weekend plans. I also find a lot of free events. I follow a young lady called Sarah. She's DMV. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong, Sarah, but I think it's DMV or 2DMV for kids. There are a lot of free events that she posts that's happening on Saturdays and Sundays that are not only for kids, but I mean, I'm a big kid, so I just like to go to those events. And hopefully I can get in one more trip. The Mexico people got me. And I purchased a certificate to return.
You did.
I didn't get
I've never been to Mexico. What is the certificate about?
So, they want you to buy a timeshare.
Okay.
But if you don't, then the least thing that they'll do is offer you a return visit for maybe like 5 days at like a really cheap cost, just to kind of get you back into like buying a timeshare, which I'm not.
Listen, my parents bought You should listen. My parents bought timeshare when we were little kids, and I don't know if it's just that they have not been able to sell that thing over the last years or what, but like me and my brother still take advantage of that. Like my brother, because my parents you pay for it.
Yeah.
So my parents aren't traveling like that, so my brother routinely takes advantage of that 2 weeks they get every year and just travel on my parents' dime. So, and then I remember when I was in college, that was actually my side hustle. I was the person who would cold call people and try to give them like a free trip to come down so that they can then and listen, I didn't have anything exciting like Mexico or like Orlando. I was selling people to come down to Branson, Missouri. Of all places.
Wait, what's in Branson? What is that? What's in Branson? How can you entice me to come to Branson, Missouri?
Is that where Dollywood is? I can't remember my spiel then.
It's some like amusement park type of park. That's
I think it's like Dollywood. But listen, that's when I realized I can be quite persuasive. I never want to do sales ever again, but if I had to, I know that I would at least survive because, child, if I can sell people, then they would be give me their credit card, $99, come down. Now once you get down there, I have no responsibility for you or the presentation that they're gonna like hunker you down and make you sell you until you feel like you're gonna cry, because I'm sure they did a very hard sale. But that was my side hustle for a minute. Like I was hustling timeshares.
Branson, Missouri is that's a big like place for people to vacation and to travel to. So I'm not surprised that you were, especially if you were calling people in Middle America, they were definitely down to go to Branson.
The people who were, a lot of my sales came from places like New York, because those people would just be trying to get out, see something different, slower, change of pace. Like you'd be surprised, but
I mean,
Branson, Missouri.
You said Dollywood, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'd probably buy that.
She probably seems solid. That's a subject in itself one day. Yeah, she's got a whole
amusement park. Yeah, called Dollywood.
That's a whole another subject for another day. But not. And I don't want it to be who would you invite to the cookout, because I just want to dead that completely. So tired of it. Yeah. But just like, what white folks are you just feel really solid about, like comfortable? They don't need to come to a cookout, but Dolly Parton, Tom Hanks would be another one for me. So that's another subject for another day. But I want to reapproach that one.
Yeah,
I
let's
love me
let's
some
let's
That's a
Dolly.
add
good
that to the
one. I like
discussion
that.
list.
I
I
love
like
me
that
some
one.
Dolly. She's good
Yeah, I do
people.
love Dolly. I've loved her. My listen, now we about to go
Yeah.
into a whole nother topic. All right, I won't even go there. But yes, I love that topic, Adrian. We have to make sure we mention Dolly Parton when we talk about that one.
Yep.
Yes. Well,
Exactly.
I just
Exactly.
to piggyback on what Viv was saying, I think I mentioned this on a previous episode as well, but like I lived in New York for 7 years and I moved to New York because I was obsessed with Sex and the City and I thought my life was gonna be like Carrie Bradshaw. And I was like,
Right.
oh, this is yeah, I'm going to New York. I'm gonna get my girlfriends, we're gonna go to brunch every Sunday and like we're gonna do it. And it had aspects of Sex and the City. My experience had aspects of it. But New York to live is very different from New York to visit. And I think that like
Mhm.
if you go with your friend and she shows you what it's like from the perspective of someone who lives there, it's very different than like the touristy New York and even the Sex and the City New York, which is very like
Mhm.
not real, right? Because like for example,
Right.
Right.
them hopping into cabs all the time, like I couldn't afford cabs every time I need to go somewhere. My feet were like my main form of transportation when I was in New York. But that's also why I was like 40 pounds thinner when I lived there too, because I like walked everywhere and all of that.
Walked everywhere.
But it's a great city, it's a great town, and now that you mention it, I am long overdue for a visit to New York and my friends that are up there. So I will probably do that also, like do a long weekend in New York this summer too.
Well, I think throughout this whole discussion, we've been touching on some of our little auntie moments, our
Oh yes.
auntifications.
Oof, yes. So yes, our auntification, and our auntification topic is a recurring segment that we have every time that y'all join us for one of our episodes. We're going to talk about like how do we know that we are the aunties now. Little things will happen that will remind us that like, hey, we've reached auntie status, right? So like it could be that you're doing something that reminds you of like what your mom would do, right? Or just something that you're like, I never would have done this when I was younger. Like, oh wow, I'm an auntie, right? And so this this segment, I want to talk about something. I want to talk about aunties being under attack and how I found myself identifying with someone that I never would have thought that I would ever identify with in a million years. So you all may have heard about the drama between Anita Baker and Babyface. And so, we were actually
Child.
just talking about the fact that like music is like popping this summer, right? And
Yes.
we've had a bunch of folks who were out on tour. And so Auntie Anita decided that she was going to go on tour and she had Babyface opening for her. Now, I mean, this is no shade to Auntie, but like I thought it should have maybe been the other way around because Babyface has like such a deep catalog. I mean, Anita does too, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But like Babyface, like his writing, like all of that, I just felt like it was such a deep catalog. For him to be opening for her was kind of a big deal, I thought. But at any rate, so they had a show in New Jersey and it was like they got started like 2 hours late. They were on like Lauren Hill's schedule, right? Like it was like supposed to start at 6,
Right.
8 o'clock. The people are still in the arena. Like, is this gonna happen? Like, what's going on? And so Babyface didn't perform. Anita came out, she did her performance. They didn't get to see Babyface, and people were like up in arms about it. And so later, my understanding, because I didn't actually see this, but this is what I read, was that Babyface actually went on Twitter and he said, like, hey, I was there and I wanted to perform, but Anita didn't want me to because like she wanted the time to get into her catalog. And so she asked me not to. So then a few weeks later, Anita hops on Twitter and she starts saying that Babyface fans were coming for her and like cyberbullying her and like, saying crazy stuff about her because of this whole story. So that's not the auntification part, right? For me, my auntification was complete when I found myself really, really identifying with Anita because I thought people were going to be on her side and be like, oh, that's messed up. Babyface's fans are coming for you. But they instead, everyone was like, she's raggedy. Like people hate working with her. She's nasty. She's a diva, like all this kind of stuff. And I started thinking about the fact that a lot of our older like entertainers, women entertainers get that label of being a diva,
Yeah.
of being hard to work with, of being like nasty, like all these different things. And maybe that's true, right? Like I don't know. or maybe they have like standards and they just are not going to let people treat them a certain way, or maybe they, I mean, so I just think it's interesting that there seems to be a theme. And maybe, again, maybe they are divas, right? But to me, I was sort of like, well, is it because she's like an older Black woman who's like, she's standing up for herself and people are calling her diva, calling her nasty.
Yeah.
So I felt like that was an instance of aunties being under attack, and I felt for her, right? So I was like,
I
I
agree.
never in my life thought I would like put myself in the same category as Anita Baker, because I feel like she's been like older for my whole life, right?
I feel the same way
And now
about
here
Morgan
we are.
Freeman.
Right, exactly.
Why did Morgan Freeman come out the womb like 70 years old?
He was born old. Yes, I'm cracking that. But Kelly, listen, I agree with you because from what I understand, Anita was asking, well, Babyface, you see your fans are coming for me. Can you please say something to them? Like, ask them to stop, because it's not my fault that this is the contract and this is how we had it set up. And
Right.
it's giving a false sense of expectations. If you're coming thinking that Babyface is the headliner, he's not. This is the contract that we worked out and this is how it's going down. So could you please talk to your fans? And he was silent, right? It reminded me of the whole Janet Jackson incident with Justin Timberlake when he left her hanging. He was a part of that performance too. He left her hanging literally. Yes, yes. And he said nothing when everybody was coming for her, when he was the one that ripped her daggone shirt off. Like, come on, dude. Take up for the woman. So I feel you. And then, so I don't, now, see, I'm going to name this person, but I know that it's going to be controversial.
Okay.
Auntie Monique.
Oh Lord. Okay. Okay.
And you know why it's
controversial for you. Like, that's what I think of. When I think of Monique, I'm like, we were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you.
But listen, Lee Daniels apologized to her. He apologized to her. So that kind of makes me think, well,
maybe
people were coming for her, trying to make her shut up. But she had a reason to be speaking if he came and apologized to her. So why, and I know, again, it's controversial because of some of the things that she says, and people don't like when she talk about don't wear your bonnet and all this and that. Fine. But I find that true as well, Kelly, that a lot of older women, when they speak their truths, that they can get attacked for it and just be left hanging.
See, the auntification for me is the fact that they're all on social media, period. This is the first time. No, listen. Because then, let's take it back to Monique, because I do give Monique a hard time. She's not saying anything that probably one of our aunties or grandmas probably would not have said to us. It's the fact that they're saying it on social media. This is a whole new generation of Twitter and young folks who have fingertips, and they're able to read this. I think all the time of what a world it would be if Rest in Peace Prince or Lufa was still around to be on social media. The dynamics that they're able to see feedback and criticism from their audience right away, immediately, and they're also having to navigate this because listen, I'm a TikTok girl. Don't judge me. I am in my 30s and I am on TikTok. But like, even I sometimes read comments and stuff and be like, "Whoa!" Like, did you just say that? And I won't even venture over to Twitter because I've already heard that is just a dark,
a wild place.
Yeah,
I'm not ready. And so for me, the auntification is seeing not only this older generation but ourselves, and so all this nonsense probably been happening behind the scenes all our lives. We hear about it in biopics later on, once they're gone. But like, watching them navigate social media and being able to have all of this sometimes ugliness or just the dynamics of the relationships that they have amongst their peers within their celebrity, realm, is just amazing as a bystander to watch because I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
ooh, what's going on today? But
Mm-hmm.
also, it must be a lot for them. And like, I'm
Yeah.
noticing it even myself, like, this past week alone with like social media, I've been exhausted watching my own peers, like, just
Mm-hmm.
post their think pieces and opinions
Mm-hmm.
all
Listen.
day long.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure, like,
Mm-hmm.
Auntie Anita's probably over there like, what?
Yeah.
Like, and,
Mm-hmm.
and let's say she has been ugly to people in the past, right? The fact
Mm-hmm.
that like we all know about it now because we all have fingers and able to like
Right.
look and
Mhm.
like see,
Right.
that's a whole new dynamic for them. So for me,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
that's what I've been watching, just watching
Mm-hmm.
this older generation and then wondering where we're gonna be when we are of a certain
Girl,
age,
I don't
like in
even
the
know.
next generation of this like social media stuff, because it's wild out here. So
Mm-hmm.
God bless them for like having all their ish on display because I'm sure they're just used to having all this stuff behind the scenes and
Yeah.
throwing
Yeah.
subtle shade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
That's a
right
great
now
and
they
especially
gotta
like you said, that age group, like that is you don't hear much about Babyface. He's a BTS, behind the scenes man,
a cool
unless he's out there
brother.
doing a concert. Like you don't know about what he's doing and where he is.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I don't have much to say about it because I am not always on up to date with social media. But I did look up the scenario, and the interview that I watched was with him talking to TMZ. And what
Babyface?
I, yeah, or I
Oh.
shouldn't say, they wrote an article. I'm sorry, let me not misspeak. I don't recall if he was speaking with someone from
He's
there,
done an
but
Mm-hmm.
interview
they,
this week.
okay.
Mm.
So I believe it's with TMZ, but don't quote me, y'all.
Okay.
And from what I gather through the information that I read, what he said is that he, like you're saying, Rose, he needs black men need to take up for us black women. Okay, from what I
Mm-hmm.
deduced from what he said, because he said he respects her as an artist, and while people have said that he would be more of the headliner, he looks up to her in this like capacity that he understood where she was coming from and he was okay with stepping back. However, he knew that there was a crowd out there solely and specifically for him. And while there was backlash, I don't know if he's on social media. So maybe he didn't see what was going on to be out there to be as vocal to take up for her. But maybe he did, and he was just like, nah, y'all gonna watch this play out a little bit before I tell you, I stepped down and I let her do this, because it sounds like from what I read that he was okay. It was the understanding between them two. He was okay with it. He was like, go ahead. I'm gonna cheer you on from the sideline like I normally do. So I agree. Like it is definitely what did you call it, Kelly? Auntification, auntie, being aunties under attack.
Aunties understand.
And black men need to take up for us black women and not have us like struggle so long before you come and save. Like you don't have to save us. You just needed to clarify from the get and let your followers
Yes.
know that yeah, we started late, but this was a thing, and I got y'all next time. Tune into
Mm-hmm.
my page, and I'm gonna sing for y'all like something. Like
Mm-hmm.
he could have fixed it. He could have
Yeah.
He
fixed
could
it.
have fixed it. And
Mm-hmm.
Adrian, I really like that point that you're making too about about seeing this all play out over social media. You're like, oh my gosh, somebody take Auntie phone. Take her phone. Like you don't need to be
Right.
doing this.
100%.
Yes, I totally get it. I was surprised that she was on Twitter. Like when I saw that this was like a Twitter back, and it was clearly her. It wasn't like an intern or whatever that was doing her tweeting. She
No.
was on
She
there
made it
doing
clear it
it.
was her.
Yeah. And so I was like, wow, okay. I mean, that did surprise me, Adrian. So that's a great point that you brought up about them just like at that age navigating social media, all together. But I just felt like I did not like the narrative that people were pushing. And again, I don't follow her that closely. So maybe she does have a reputation for being terrible. I don't know. But like I just feel like I've seen this before. It's not just her, right? Like I've seen this with a lot of
Mm-hmm.
like older black women. When they stand up for themselves, they get labeled a certain way, right? And that just made me feel some type of way to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I agree.
agree. It sounds like it makes us seem like we're difficult. And even just like
Monique?
during this aging process, like I think a lot of times it comes into us getting our voice back, or maybe you just learning how to utilize it, and things that you would allow to like just drip off your back. You're no longer standing for that. You're taking a stance on making a change in how you want people to address you. And so sometimes people look at that as you're being very stiff, you're not being bendable, you're not being willing to work with us and compromise, but you're
Right.
absolutely now asking me to compromise my core values. And maybe before I allowed it, but now at this big age of mine, as people say, I'm no longer doing it. I am not bending to compromise my core values. So call me what you want. But I think that those are a lot of the things that people need to start looking into and saying that, or you don't realize until you get to auntie status, that I understand now, like, why older people start to say things and when they feel like saying it, how they feel like saying it, and who they feel like saying it to, because at this point, I'm going to say my piece and keep it moving.
I told y'all I can't wait to get old and be able to say whatever I want to say. Listen, but the younger generation coming up, especially like Generation Z or beyond, they saying what they want to say
They
now.
doing it now.
They doing
Yes.
They not waiting to become aunties or grandmas or old crotchety men or whatever you want to label it. They're saying it now. But
Yeah.
I'm in my little millennial spot, so I'm still gonna wait. But once I get hit like 60, y'all get ready because I'm gonna light y'all up. I'm gonna say what I want to say. I'm gonna say whatever I want to say, anywhere I want to say it. Light y'all all up.
I'll crack it up. Well, I think that is a good point to wrap this up because Viv and Adrian just dropped some Auntie Jewels on us.
We're gonna end with me live.
Bang bang.
Light 'em up. So I just want to let folks know before we wrap up that you can catch the aunties every month, the fourth Wednesday of each month for Woman Crush Wednesday. And if you miss us during that time, come on over to Instagram and follow the Spotlight DMV. You can catch us on Instagram. So yeah, anything else y'all want to let the people know before we go?
No.
Enjoy your summer plans.
Yes.
Make sure you guys. I want to put this out to the people out there. I see a lot our followers growing, and we want to remind you guys while we are not live, please comment. We want to hear your feedback. We want to see what you guys want to hear us talk about. We want you guys to interact, and maybe one day we will just grace your presence on a live presentation. So please comment. Share our posts and just have fun because that's what we're here for, is just to have fun and be ourselves.
I agree. If y'all have any summer plans that we don't know about that are cheap and it's a turn up,
yes,
we want to hear about it.
We want to hear about it.
Spotlight, comment it. We'll be out there.
We'll be out there.
Yeah.
All right, folks. All right, ladies. Catch y'all next month.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.